Your kidneys are the true regulators of blood pressure, and kidneys listen to hormones more than food labels. When insulin stays elevated, the kidneys interpret that signal as retain sodium. Not briefly, all day long, so even if you eat very little salt, your body still holds onto sodium. Imagine your bloodstream as a busy highway. Sodium represents the cars. Your kidneys are the exit ramps. Insulin is the traffic light controlling those exits. Cutting salt removes some cars, which helps, but if the exits stay closed, traffic still builds up. That congestion is rising blood pressure. The issue isn't only how many cars enter, it's whether the exits are open. High blood pressure does not automatically mean you are doing something wrong. And honestly, some of the most frustrated people I meet in clinic are not careless patients. They are the disciplined ones. They walk every morning, they eat carefully, they stopped smoking years ago, they reduce salt, they follow every instruction they were given, and yet, when we check their blood pressure, the numbers are still high, not once, not during stress, but consistently. That is usually the moment discouragement sets in, because they were promised something simple: do the right things, and your blood pressure will come down. So when it doesn't, the question becomes deeply personal. Is my body failing me? Am I just getting old? What am I missing? Here is the most important thing I want you to understand today. Those patients are not failing. Their bodies are responding to signals, not just habits. And blood pressure is controlled far more by internal biology than most people realize. Today we are going to uncover one of the most overlooked signals driving high blood pressure, even in people who appear perfectly healthy. For decades, blood pressure was explained using a very simple idea. High blood pressure equals too much salt. So naturally, people cut sodium aggressively. And yes, salt matters. But in real clinical practice, something interesting happens. Some patients reduce salt and their blood pressure improves dramatically. Others cut salt just as strictly, and almost nothing changes. Same effort, different result. Why? Because for many adults, especially after age 50 or 60, blood pressure is not primarily a salt problem. It is a hormone problem. And the hormone at the center of this story is insulin. Most people only associate insulin with diabetes, but insulin is actually one of the strongest regulators of blood pressure in the human body. Every time insulin rises, it sends 3 quiet instructions. To your kidneys, hold on to sodium. To your nervous system, stay slightly alert. To your blood vessels, don't fully relax yet. This response is completely normal, temporarily. After a meal, insulin rises, does its job, and then falls. That rise and fall is healthy. The problem begins when insulin never gets the chance to fall. Let's walk through a typical day. Breakfast in the morning, a snack a few hours later, lunch, afternoon snack, dinner, maybe a smoothie, juice, or protein shake somewhere in between. None of these foods are necessarily unhealthy. Many are actually excellent choices. But physiologically, something important is happening. Every eating event triggers insulin. When meals and snacks are spaced too closely together, insulin never returns to baseline. Instead of waves, it becomes a constant tide. Not high enough to cause diabetes, not abnormal enough to appear on routine labs, but elevated long enough to affect blood pressure. Many people notice their readings are worst right after waking up. They assume stress is the reason. But often, the real cause is timing. Late-night eating keeps insulin elevated overnight. While you sleep, kidneys retain sodium. The nervous system stays slightly activated. Blood vessels never fully relax, so you wake up already starting from behind. And most people never realize this is happening. Here is where things get even more surprising. Some of the people most affected by this look very healthy. They are active, they are not overweight, they appear fit. But normal weight does not always mean metabolic health. There are two main types of body fat: fat under the skin, which we can see, and visceral fat, hidden fat surrounding internal organs, especially the liver. Visceral fat interferes with insulin signaling. It forces the body to release more insulin just to maintain normal blood sugar. So lab results look normal, weight looks normal, but insulin stays elevated throughout the day, and blood pressure slowly rises as a result. I want to say this clearly because it surprises many people. The most common mistake keeping blood pressure elevated is not overeating. It is constant eating, not junk food, not lack of discipline, but never allowing insulin to rest. This shows up in three very common patterns: grazing all day, eating every few hours, liquid calories, smoothies, juices, protein drinks that spike insulin quickly, late night eating, which prevents overnight recovery. Notice something important. This isn't mainly about what you eat, it's about how often you eat. You don't need extreme diets, you don't need starvation, and you don't need perfection. Your body simply needs periods where insulin can fall. Simple changes can create this. Stop snacking between meals, finish dinner earlier, avoid late night eating, keep meals within a 10 to 12 hour eating window. When insulin finally drops, powerful changes happen automatically. Kidneys release excess sodium, blood volume normalizes, the nervous system calms, blood vessels relax, and blood pressure often begins improving within weeks. High blood pressure is not just a number, it is a signal of mechanical stress on the heart, brain, kidneys, and blood vessels. When you correct the underlying hormonal signal, you're not just lowering blood pressure, you're improving long-term health and longevity. You give your body the environment it was designed to function in. And that can mean living stronger and healthier well into your 60s, 70s, and beyond. If this explanation helped you understand your body differently, consider subscribing, because education like this helps people work with their biology instead of fighting against it. And now that you understand the signal behind stubborn blood pressure, the next step is learning how movement helps reset it naturally. I'll see you in the next video.